The Super Bowl is in 8 days, y'all. That means that we have to start making up our Super Bowl party recipes. I'm going to be making mini versions of a few items for you guys. Let's go and let's make our refried beans for our 7-layer dip. Let's cut up an onion, dice it up real small. Next up is our garlic. So it says 3 cloves, but I'm gonna use 6 because a couple of these are really small. All right, our pot and our oil is hot now, so we're gonna add in our onion carefully. I put about 2 tablespoons worth of oil in here, and we're just gonna cook the onions for a few minutes till they get translucent. Alrighty, we're looking fairly translucent here, so I'm going to add in our garlic. Cook it for about 2 minutes. Next is to add our beans with liquid and all, y'all. So I have my black beans here. I have 540 ml can. We're gonna give it a little mix here. Scrape up all the garlics that were stuck to the bottom of the pot. And then we wanna make sure that the beans have enough liquid. So we're just gonna add in a little bit of vegetable broth. Just enough so that the beans are covered. I'm just gonna add like the smallest amount because there's quite a bit of liquid. The recipe states 1/4 cup to a cup, but we just want them barely covered. So I'm just gonna add like a little splash because last time I made them, I definitely put too much and then I didn't cook them long enough where the refried beans were very liquidy. Okay, you do not want liquidy beans. Okay, we're going to bring it to a boil and let them simmer. Okay, we're at a low boil now, so I'm going to add in some salt. I have 1/2 teaspoon. Give it a mix in. Now we're going to cover it and reduce it to low and cook it for 20 minutes. Our timer is up. I've actually started another one because I stirred these when there was like 5 minutes left and they are very liquidy still. I don't even think I needed to add any vegetable broth because these are very liquidy still. Okay, we want a little bit of thickness in our refried beans. We're gonna put them in some rolls for lunch too, and they just squish out the end if you put them in a corn tortilla. Okay, so I'm gonna keep these on for another 7.5 minutes, which will be 30 minutes in total. I'm going to make some cheese sauce. So we're going to do some Daiya Mexican shreds here, and I think I'm gonna do about 1/2 cup of shreds. This is always a game of like liquids to cheese ratio experimenting. So we're gonna do about 1/2 cup of shreds, and I'm really interested because this is the oat cream formula. They are still certified gluten-free and I have not had any issues, so it melts really well, so I'm really interested to see how it goes. So now that we have that in there, I'm going to add in some unsweetened milk, soy milk. I'm just gonna start with a couple tablespoons because you don't want it too runny and it can get very runny very fast, and then you need to just keep adding the cheese shreds. Maybe we'll do one more, 3 tablespoons. Okay, let's wait till it gets hot. Okay, this is looking interesting. It looks like it's melting already. Oh, it's bubbling. Okay, so now we're just going to melt it down. I also checked on our beans and they're still kind of liquidy, so I just put them back on for another 10 minutes, but I'll check them probably halfway. Now, this is almost melted here. I'm gonna turn this way down. Now, this is too thick though, because we want to be able to scoop, right? So it's 7-layer dip. We're gonna have the beans on the bottom, then the cheese. So we want this to be spreadable, but also like if you dip a chip into it, scoopable. So this might actually is kind of perfect, but I fear that when it cools down, it's going to be way too thick because obviously we're going to be letting this cool before we assemble everything. So I'm gonna grab some more milk. I'll add in 2 more tablespoons. I think I did 3 or 4, I can't remember. So this is either 5 or 6. This cheese is melting so nicely, and honestly so much faster than the old Daiya formula. I remember having to like just keep going and going and going because it would just be a hard like clump and it wouldn't melt down. This is so fast. We're going to put this together when it's cooled, so I want the cheese sauce to still be somewhat saucy, not hard again, by the time we assemble. And this is looking like the perfect consistency. Yes! Okay, I'll probably just turn off the burner now. So there, our cheese sauce is done, about halfway-ish from another 10-minute timer. So we're gonna check in on the beans. Got a little bit of stickage, and these smell so amazing, you guys, like so good. Okay, we are still very watery, y'all, like very watery. So I think I'm gonna for sure leave it on for the remainder of the, which is only 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So let's just put the lid back on and leave it. It has been 45 minutes and we are really starting to look good now. There's much less liquid, so I think, and they're really starting to stick to the bottom. So I think it's time for us to blend. I'm gonna grab my immersion blender and do it that way. This is where it can get messy, so just be careful. You can blend as much or as little as you like, but I think this is just perfect. So I'm gonna leave it like this, kind of chunky, just because it's a little bit hard to actually blend it. I have to like mush it here and then blend it. So I'm gonna leave it at this thickness. I'm just gonna put it into a bowl and set it aside to let it cool down. Now I'm gonna start with that, and let's just see how much this. Look at it steaming. It's probably good I'm doing this outside. Okay, that is looking beautiful. Let's make sure we're all the way up because we want a nice side shot so you can really see the different layers. Got our cheese sauce, still pretty liquidy. Ooh, that looks so good. I think this is gonna be the perfect amount. Plastic wrap over top so that didn't get a disgusting crusty crust on the top, and it did amazingly. Try to spread it out in a nice even layer so we can see it to the edges. And I did say this is going to be like a small version, but to be honest, I feel like this is actually a really good size for a party. If you're going to have like multiple appetizers and stuff, this is probably the perfect size. So I just have some salsa, Tostitos, and some other brand, I don't know. I just picked it up at the store. So. No. I'm not gonna make this entire thing full, swampy of salsa. I mean, if you love salsa, go for it, like do it up. Perfect. So now we have a nice layer, even layer of salsa. Okay, next up is our corn and our tomatoes, fresh. The corn is frozen, I just heated it up. Now, of course, if you can eat avocados, Clay can't eat avocados, you can do a layer of guacamole as well. It is called 7 layers, and I'm definitely not doing 7 layers. But I've also seen versions where you put lettuce on the top. I just don't think that looks good. Next up, we're gonna add some more Daiya cheese. I didn't do this last time I made this, but I thought it looked really good and made the dish look better, so. That looks so good. So I've put some Toffuti sour cream into a piping bag with a tip. Look at the tip, y'all. Can you even see it? It's like, I don't even know. I just thought it'd be fun, okay? Come on. It looks so good. Top it with our tajin. I think it looks weird now since I did that crosshatch kind of thing. Okay, let's go get some chips because I guess I have to do an eating shot. I cut up some green onions to put on the top as well. I think it'll look good. And then I have my chips. Ta-da! Look how good it looks, y'all. See all the layers? Beautiful. That's exactly what you want. Oh gosh, I didn't even get the beans. No. You know what? Get behind here and pretend. Oh, this is gonna be so terrible. Oh my god, this is so good. Don't leave out the green onions, y'all. I forgot how good this dip was. Like, it is ridiculously good. The flavors, like everything. This is the best dip ever. Like, and it hit like when I made it last year for the Super Bowl. We had family members over that aren't vegan. I mean, to be honest, a lot of the things I made hit, but like they were like just giving her, like they loved this. Delicious. So I would say meat eaters and non-meat eaters alike. Plus, it is gluten-free. And the beans are way healthier because you made them yourself. Cheese sauce, obviously not gonna be that healthy, but you could also make a homemade nacho cheese sauce with potatoes and carrots. Hot for Food has one recipe if you want to actually be like everything from scratch. Do not forget about those green onions because those are so freaking good. Okay, I'm so happy. It tastes amazing. That will be item number 1 for the Super Bowl. Let's move on to the next item. Look at that. Welcome back to day 2 of making Super Bowl snacks. We're going to be making a strawberry sponge cake, whipped cream, strawberry shortcake kind of recipe. First off, we're going to start by making our strawberry compote. So let's go and do that. Let's turn our pot on. Just gonna do a medium between 4 and 5 kind of deal. Frozen strawberries here today that we'll be using. Normally I would recommend using not frozen strawberries. These hold a lot more water, so we might not need to add any water to this. I'm gonna do 3 cups. I'm gonna make a lot because I might need some for our next recipe. Next, we're going to do 2 tablespoons of sugar. Now, depending on the fruit that you use, you may need to use more or less sugar if you're using a really sweet fruit. 1 tablespoon of water. Normally we would do 3, but because I'm using frozen strawberries, they're gonna have a lot of water in them already. And this would probably go much faster if these were defrosted already. While we're waiting on these to simmer and break down into a nice gooey looking compote, let's work on our dry ingredients. We're going to do 1 1/4 cups of 1-to-1 gluten-free flour, 1/2 cup of our all-purpose gluten-free flour, 7/8 of a cup of cane sugar. I don't know if this is more closer to 3/4 of a cup. It's okay if it is. We're going to be topping it with strawberries and whipped cream. 1 heaping teaspoon of baking powder, but you know what I think I'm going to do since it's gluten-free? I am just going to do 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Let's give it a whisk up, combine everything. Okay, perfect. And we're just gonna let this chill for a minute because our strawberry compote is not done yet. Let me update you guys. Y'all, delicious. And y'all, it smells good. So it's been probably at least 10 minutes. I did up the stove temperature a bit just because it was not even bubbling at all. So I'm having it straight on medium now. And what we're looking for is for all of the strawberries to get broken down. And then this turn into a nice, like, you know, gooey, thick sauce. It's reducing quite a bit very well. So you know what, I'm going to just turn it down a bit back to like between level 3 and 4, just so that nothing starts burning, okay? It's been a couple more minutes now and it is looking nice and thick. And of course it will thicken up a little bit after we take it off the burner. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep it like this because I do want it to be spreadable in our batter, and then whatever is remaining we'll use as a topping as well. Let's preheat the oven. Now for our wet ingredients, we need 2/3 of a cup of oil plus 1 tablespoon. So there's 1/3. I think this is like a gross amount of oil, but it's the recipe, y'all. I'm gonna overflow this just a hair because we might need extra liquid for our gluten-free flour. Okay, y'all, I was supposed to do the sparkling water first. My bad. We need 1 cup of sparkling water. I'm using an AHA. We'll give that a little bit much. My bad. Orange and grapefruit. Just do a splash of vanilla. That's my little addition to the recipe. Okay, I'm gonna mix it. It says not to over mix, so we're just gonna try our best. I think because of the bubbles. Okay, if I can get it off of the whisk. I'm gonna switch to a wooden spoon just to make sure we don't end up over mixing it here. I'm not sure because we're using gluten-free flour if like this is even something we should be worried about, but we don't want to lose too much of that aeration, so I'm gonna call that good. Cross my fingers. We're gonna pour our batter, all of it into our square pan. So now what we're going to do is drop a few dollops of our strawberry compote, only on half. Well, let's see how this turns out. We've popped it in the oven at 355 and we're gonna bake it for about 40 to 45 minutes. It has been 40 minutes, y'all. Look at how good the strawberry swirling did. Okay, I can see a weird circle in the middle. So we're gonna stab our toothpick right in the center and do a toothpick test. Oh my God, amazing. Okay, we are done after the 40 minutes. I'm not gonna ruin that. Now that our cake is cooled, now what we need to do is make our whipped cream. So today I'm going to actually just make it from scratch using the Silk whipping cream because it is delicious. Let's go. We got our frosty bowl and our frosty beaters. Using our Silk whipping cream today. And I'm going to do 1 cup of our whipping cream. And then we're just gonna put a splash of vanilla. All right, we are looking good and thick, so let's put in some sugar now. I have our wholesome sweeteners, icing sugar, so I'm just gonna do 1/4 cup. That might just be enough. We'll just taste it. I also probably only beat it for like 30 seconds to a minute. And let's beat again. Alrighty, y'all, it is looking perfection. It is looking so freaking good. You have to make sure you don't over whip this or it can just die. I'm gonna throw this in the fridge for now. Okay, I'm gonna cut it in half. Alrighty, let's grab one out. Oh, that looks so freaking good, you guys. Oh my God. Oh. Oh my God. Let's try and cut these up so we can make like little sandwiches. Let's do in half, C's. And the bottoms of those, the other ones were kind of sticky, which I notice happens a lot when you have like when you add fruit, the bottoms can be a little bit sticky. This other half seems to be actually like excellent. A little sticky maybe. Like this. Cute little squares. I think it's gonna be best just to freeze these for like 15 minutes and then we'll cut them in half because it'll be way easier to cut and they won't just shred. I think they're little chilly for cutting, so let's try and cut one. Okay, it's definitely better. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much perfect. It's a little tougher on the edges. Perfect. Okay, I'll do a couple. I'm so excited for this. So here's our strawberry filling, the leftovers. I just had them in the fridge. It looks like jam. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Want a nice thick layer. Our whipped cream from in the fridge. Oh, okay. This is just gonna squish out everywhere, y'all. This is gonna be amazing. We'll try and evenly spread it, so maybe it can squish evenly. It's probably not gonna happen. Let's top it. Oh, I definitely overdid this. Look at it squishing out everywhere, you guys. Oh, look how good. OMG. Okay, do not over squish like me. Look how good, though. I'm just gonna like scrape it onto this one. Yeah, you could probably do like so much less. Don't be like me. Okay, but like delicious. Okay, let's give it a try. Oh my god, that's so good. There he goes. Man, the cake is sweet. The strawberries have a little bit of tart to them, and then the whipped cream is like a cool sweet cream. Oh, these are so good. That will be it. There's your 2 options. These will also be good for Valentine's Day too. You can also just square these up and like top them with the strawberries and whipped cream instead, so you can just eat them with a fork. There's so many things you could do with this. I forgot to mention, I just want to say one thing, is that when I was building these, this whipped cream actually got a little watery and I had to like re-stir it just with my spoon. It was fine. It didn't like ruin the whole batch, but I would say if you're using this whipped cream, make sure it's chilled or put it in the freezer, or like maybe I didn't mix it enough, but it has been sitting out for a little bit. So if you use this kind, make sure you put it on like very, very last right before you serve this kind of thing. Unless you froze them, you could probably assemble them and freeze them. Just wanted to let you guys know it will get watery. Okay guys, I was just making these up for Clay to eat, and I thought, you know what, these actually look really good halfway. So I know I said you can top them like a little square, but I would say cut them in half because they look so cute like this. That will be it for this Super Bowl finger food. Let's move on and make our 3rd Super Bowl item. For our 3rd recipe, we're going to be making strawberry cheesecake pudding cups. So I'll pop up a picture if you guys recognize this. This is what I'm trying to recreate. First step, I have 1 cup of frozen strawberries, but I put them in here to defrost. We have to mash these. We're gonna turn our burner on to a medium. All right, these are looking perfect. So we're just gonna mash them up. Let's add our 3/4 of a cup of water, and we're going to simmer this for 3-ish minutes. It has been 5 or 6 minutes now. It does say 3 minutes, but I thought, well, I'll give it some extra time to boil down. We're gonna strain our strawberries and then just retain the juice. We're looking for 1 cup of juice. Oh, do not spill. Squeeze all the juice. We're left with this pulp, so I'm going to just save this and freeze it, maybe put it in a smoothie. We are at 3/4 of a cup, so I'm just gonna add enough water so that it's up to 1 cup. We're gonna do 3/4 of a cup of sugar. So I have cane sugar here. I'm almost out of sugar, y'all. Oh my gosh, I don't have enough sugar. That's okay. I'm just going to continue on with the rest of the recipe. We'll see, maybe it just won't be as sweet, but that's okay. Now, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Let's whisk this up first. Make sure it's all combined. Let's add in our strawberry juice. I'm just gonna add in a bit, about half, so I can whisk it. Let's turn our burner on to medium again, and I'm going to add in the remainder of our strawberry juice. Whisk it again together. You wanna make sure, grab your spatula, scrape the edges as well to make sure nothing is stuck around the edges and going to burn. Simmer it for 3 to 5 minutes until it gets nice and thick. I literally was taking a video for Instagram just to put on my story, and boom! This goes fast, and make sure you are stirring it the whole time because it goes so fast. Look at that! Oh my god, amazing. It literally only took probably 3 to 5 minutes for sure. This looks gorgeous. This is amazing. Okay, we're gonna set aside. We need it to be cold. We have 4 cups of our strawberries over here, frozen of course. Some are a little defrosted because I left them out, but We're not going to add them in yet. We're going to wait till these are totally defrosted. That's the last step in this portion, is to just add these strawberries into that jelly. I'm so excited. The next step is to make the cheesecake pudding, and I need to make up the whipped cream part. So let's make the whipped cream. Alrighty, I chilled my bowl and my beaters in the freezer for a few minutes. Let's add our first ingredient. If you watched the last Super Bowl video about strawberry shortcake bars, you'll see this exact same recipe. Here's the whipping cream I'm using. I do have whipping cream in the freezer too, like the store-bought kind, but I figured might as well use this one up. So let's go ahead and put that in. If you guys have seen me do this before, I'm actually just going to open this and scrape out all of the insides. Haha. Now last video I actually whipped this first with the vanilla. I think what I'm going to do is just put everything in and see how that works. I'm going to do half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, okay, and a 1/4 cup of our powdered sugar or icing sugar. Okay, let's beat it on low to start so we don't go, you know, crazy. It has been about 1.5 minutes maybe, and we are looking pretty good. Wipe off the beaters and into the fridge we go. Just kidding, I forgot I need this bowl for our next step, and I need the beaters, so I'm not even gonna wash them or anything, but I'm going to put our whipped cream into our Tupperware container, and then it can go in the fridge. This stuff is okay at not melting, but if you keep it out for too long, it will start turning to water a little bit. That might just be the perfect amount. I need 12 ounces. On the measure, it's almost at 16. For our pudding, cheesecake pudding mix, I'm cutting the recipe in half because I only have 1 pack of instant pudding. So we're going to do 4 ounces of, I'm using the Vitalite cream cheese. I'm gonna estimate about half of this container, maybe a little bit less than half. And I have it left it out for like probably, honestly, way too long, like a couple hours. That's probably a little bit less than half. I think that will be perfect. Next up, we need 2 tablespoons of vegan butter. This is the butter I'm using, Basil plant butter unsalted. Okay, let's cream this together. And like I said, I'm using this same beater because we're gonna put the whipped cream in here anyways, so like, whatever. Okay, looking beautiful, looking perfect. Let's move on and add in our sugar. I'm using the Wholesome Sweeteners brand. That's probably about good. And our other 1/4 cup. Normally we'd put vanilla, but I need pure vanilla in this one, so I'm not going to put, because I just have artificial. So let's just beat this in here. Let's scrape down all of the edges, put our pack of instant pudding mix in here. This is the pudding mix that I found. It's sugar-free. I'm sure there's other vegan kinds, but it is vegan and also gluten-free. And then we're gonna add in our 1.5 cups of plant milk, just using soy milk today. There's half, 1/2. And let's beat it, starting on low. I also washed my beaters because I thought I was done with them, but starting on low, then go to high. It said to beat it and then leave it for 3 to 5 minutes. I beat it for about a minute just to make sure it started thickening up. I'm gonna just scrape off the beaters and we're gonna sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. While we wait, our strawberries are looking pretty good. They're almost completely defrosted, so I'm thinking that I could probably put the jelly portion, I don't know what to call it, in here. Just gonna give it a little mix first. Pour it in here and hope that nothing goes wrong because they're still kind of frozen. And I'm just gonna give it a little mixy poo. Oh my god, this looks really good, y'all. Okay, y'all, I've decided to grab a pair of scissors and make sure they're clean, obviously, and just try to cut up some of these big chunks of strawberries. Look at how much better this looks now. If I was to make this was fresh, I would definitely just dice them like really small. We're going to take half of our whipped cream because I estimated this to be about 12 ounces. So we'll do half of our Cool Whip here, put it in. We're gonna fold it into our pudding. Okay, that might be more than half. Ooh, look at the pudding. Now we have to chill it for 5 hours. Let's taste test this pudding cheesecake mix. Oh my god, that's so good. It's not super cheesecakey, very vanilla, whipped cream pudding. Oh, it's so good, y'all. Okay, I think I could have beat it a little more. It's kind of gritty before I put the whipped cream, but that's okay. I think this will also give me like a good feel of how much strawberry filling per pudding ratio to use too. Oh my god, you guys, this is so good. I'm so happy I decided to make this recipe. Now we just gotta wait 5 hours. Gosh darn it. It has been 5 hours. It's pretty thick, like real thick. It does still look a little chunky, so I mean, I was following a non-vegan recipe also. So we'll fill up our cheesecake pudding first. I feel like, okay, I'm gonna stir it up a little bit. Maybe those little, kind of looks like a streak. So I think I'm gonna do about 3/4 of the pudding mixture. That's probably too much. And then we'll do our pie filling. Oh my gosh. I mean, you could also just do as much or as little as you want with these, but I would say give it a nice thick layer. Fill it all the way to the, oh, look at how good that looks, y'all. I was so tempted to get graham crackers and put them on the bottom, or make some graham crackers, gluten-free, and put them on the bottom. That would be excellent for these also. I think these look, I was afraid they'd look kind of boring without anything like dusting of sugar on the top or something, but OMG. Look at those! They look so good, y'all. Oh my god. Let's give it a taste test, y'all. Oh, I feel this so full. I know I already taste tested earlier, but okay. Oh, that's good. The pudding's not like as thick as I thought it would be. The pudding didn't thicken up as much as I thought it would, but it's still so good. I think if you use like the store-bought whipped cream, the frozen one, and then de-thawed it, maybe it'd be like thicker, but it's still really good. I think these would be really good like frozen as well. That will be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed all of the Super Bowl recipes so far, and I will see you in the next Super Bowl video. Welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be the 4th installment of the Super Bowl snack ideas. Today we're going to be making, basically it's a cream cheese and chicken veganized taquito. So we're feeling fajita, taquito, creamy, cheesy deliciousness. Okay, we need 3 cups of soy curls. Butler soy curls, they are amazing. I'm going to add a few seasonings while we rehydrate them. So just some salt, anything you're okay with wasting, because we're going to strain them. Pepper, and we'll do some oregano, some garlic powder. And then we're going to add boiling water or super hot water to rehydrate them. We'll just mix it around a little bit, and then we'll let it soak and rehydrate for 10 minutes. Our soy curls are hydrated and strained. Now I'm going to add some taco seasoning onto them. Now the recipe says to combine along with the soy curls, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it separately. And our oven has just preheated to 400 degrees. So I have our vegan cream cheese. The recipe states 6 ounces. I used about half of it. I have at least 4 ounces. 1.5 cups of shredded cheese. So I have the Daiya Mexican blend, and then also Daiya matzo if I don't have enough. Half, 1.5. Half a cup of salsa, pepper, some salt, a little. I don't know if that's necessary, but it's what the recipe says. Tajin. I think that'll be really good mixed in here. And let's give it a mix. And I do have a pan on preheating for our corn wraps so we can heat them up. So I also decided to do some green onions. It's not in the recipe, but green onions always are so good in stuff like this. Yeah, we love green onions. So let's just mix it all in. We have our first tortilla heated up in a pan. Now I'm just going to put this mixture, our salsa cream cheese mixture. I don't know how much to put, so I'm gonna start with like not that much. And then we will put some of our soy curls in here. We will roll our taquitos. Okay, perfect. And we will place them seam side down into our baking tray. Our pan is full. I have way more left to do. I probably should have picked a bigger pan, but it's going in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15-ish minutes. We'll check on them then. I'm thinking that I actually like putting the soy curls kind of spread out everywhere as opposed to just like in a strip. I don't know, then it's more stuffed with the soy curl and you can still roll it and like boom. I don't know. Alright y'all, here's our last one, and it is literally mostly the cream cheese mixture. I don't have much of the soy curl left. Although I have to say, if you were to like shred the soy curls, this would work immaculately. So I guess this isn't gonna be that bad, but it might just ooze out a ton. If you can see, this one is like super oozing out as well because I'm trying to use it up. Here we are. I also feel like if you just put a bunch of cheese on the top, it would be looking so good. They're a little crispy. I'll let these cool. I just want to see if they're like looking smelty or what. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna let them cool. Our finished product. So mine, I was eating this one and literally it's like falling out as I'm eating it. I'm excited to see the other ones that I stuffed like super full, if they're like just oozing out, because I wasn't sure how full to fill them with the sauce. These are so flavorful, guys, and like if you were to season the soy curls overnight or even pan fry them up, so good. Like, these are so good. Here is our second batch, and I put some aside for my video for shorts, and they are looking juicy. There's 2 more that are in the oven. Okay, update. I just finished eating the last ones that were like cheesy and oozing out. I'll add in a clip here from my short that I filmed. Oh my god. Okay, just make extra of the cream cheese mixture because you want those to be like a good amount in there, because those last ones were like oozing out and like so creamy, but very, very like rich and creamy. So you also have to be aware if you don't want it to be like too overwhelmingly rich and cheesy to not do that. But oh my god, they're so good, y'all. Okay, just had to add that in there. I could have definitely put more filling inside with the soy curls. Didn't notice a difference between the ones that I made a line and the ones that I rolled up the whole time, but we'll see with this batch because there's more of these ones. These are so good. It's very like Mexican style food, so highly recommend. Good finger food. Instead of soy curls, you could probably use any other item like a tofu or something instead, or jackfruit, shred it, whatever would work really well in it too. And that will be it for all of our Super Bowl snacks, y'all. I hope you guys try them. I hope you enjoy them. This was so much fun and took me like 3 days to accomplish all of this, but it's all good. I love to cook and bake, so let me know if you try any of these recipes down below and enjoy that Super Bowl, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!